Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Listening to the Black Tapes. A listen along, I guess, technically is what this is. With my commentary thrown in. Got to break it up for copyright, which I think I've stated in other videos. I don't think anybody, not even YouTube, understands how the copyright algorithm works, so we just kind of play it by ear and hope the algorithm wants to be nice to us. So, without further ado, let's get into Season 1, Episode 6, The Devil's Door, The Black Tapes Podcast.
I were tossing around ideas for titles one day, and he threw out some over-the-top, very self-helpy, self-indulgent nonsense. You know, stuff that landed on the other side of ridiculous.
So we're not supposed to take them seriously?
Well, I'm not supposed to say that.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Say something to me without saying something to me type thing.
Here's the thing. When it comes to any discussion of the afterlife, we're just guessing. And I happen to think my guesses are at least as good as anybody else's.
And he's got a point. You know, when it does come to what happens when we die, it's, we're guessing.
What about religion?
You know what religion is? It's you and me and all our friends standing outside this door. None of us know what's on the other side. We're all just guessing, and at some point, somebody comes up with something we like. It doesn't matter if it strikes us as probable or even remotely possible, but it makes us feel better, so we convince ourselves and as many others as possible that our theory is the truth.
And I guess that's, how you go from hypothesis to a rational religion, and skip all the sciencey stuff between.
Must get a lot of hate mail.
Yeah, but who doesn't like mail?
So, in your most recent book, The Consolation of Ghosts, you're alluding to Boethius's middle-age text, The Consolation of Philosophy.
You've read it.
I googled it.
She probably Googled it and listened to the audiobook on YouTube.
Well, Boethius tries to answer a bunch of why questions. Like, why do bad things happen to good people? So I try to answer a smaller question. Why do so many people claim to see ghosts?
Well, I don't want you to give away the ending of the book, but can you give us some clues?
It comes down to this. People are either lying, exaggerating, mistaken, or telling the truth.
Which is pretty much all conversations when you think about it.
Science can explain some paranormal experiences, but in most cases, all we can do is... well, it really comes down to the best guess.
And until we develop a better science and learn more about science, that's kind of how it has to be.
So, what's your best guess?
Here's what I believe. Belief is a warm blanket. It's comforting. People grow accustomed to their blankets. Now, what kind of person goes around ripping off blankets?
He does have a point. Very, very symbolic, but and I'm not really symbolic. It's just the analogy of being a nice, comfortable, warm blanket and getting yanked off. It's it's kind of interesting way to look at it.
Know somebody like that?
It sounds like you're familiar with the subject of this podcast.
Now there's a guy who needs consolation.
Break to the music.
Hi, this message is for Alex Regan. My name is Fred Barnes, and I'm a healthcare manager at Three Rivers State Hospital in Idaho. I sent you an email last week about one of our cases.
And it had a big potato in it.
From what I've been hearing on your podcast, we sure could use you and Dr. Strand up here to take a look at one of our patients.
that just shows how popular, your thing is getting within your universe. In this universe, seems to be a fairly popular podcast. The potato joke was an Idaho joke, by the way.
Listen, I'm not after the $1 million or anything. We really just want to help this kid. Thanks.
Yeah, getting in there and getting the meat and potatoes of the situation. Hopefully they go help the kid. Hopefully that Strand and Riley can mend their differences.
Bye.
We love that our listeners are engaged with our show, so please keep sending your messages. We really do appreciate them. Something we didn't anticipate, however, is the countless number of requests we'd received for Dr. Strand to look into an extremely wide range of paranormal concerns. Turns out there's a whole lot going on in the world. Paranormally speaking.
Paranormally speaking, everything is going on in the world at the same time. Just saying.
My producer, Nick, explains why one case in particular caught our attention.
Okay, so back in 2008, we did something on false imprisonment for Pacific Northwest Stories.
Yeah, I need to see if there's actually a real podcast. There's a lot of stuff I really need to do. So.
It was a case out of Lewiston, Idaho, involving a boy named Simon Reese. When Simon was 11, he was charged with murdering both his parents. Apparently, he stabbed them to death in their beds while they slept.
Ow.
It was horrible. Simon was a selective mute, which of course complicated things. His defense team claimed there was no way he could have murdered his parents. There was no blood on his clothing, which makes no sense given the circumstances and the geography of the house.
Kind of a whole Lizzie Borden thing going on.
Also, there was the question, how could he stab his mother with his father sleeping right beside her? In the end, the judge ruled that Simon was criminally insane. He's been in Three Rivers State Hospital since the trial. He's 18 now.
Yeah, I remember. Simon was the kid who only answered yes and no questions, and only by tapping out his responses. 1 tap for yes, 2 for no.
Okay. That's kind of weird.
I remember it was extremely frustrating at the time, and we never really did get a full account of his version of the events, Simon's version.
His defense team claimed he was mute because he witnessed his parents' murders.
Yeah, I think before that he had been what they refer to as a selective mute.
Not sure what that is, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a term.
Okay. Nick dug up a recording of an early interview with Simon and a court-appointed psychologist. This was recorded 8 months after the death of his parents.
Simon, are you comfortable with that? 1 tap for yes, 2 taps for no. Simon, we talked about this.
I guess he isn't comfortable.
Are you okay if I ask you a few questions?
Okay.
I know this is difficult for you to think about right now, but I want to move you to a safer place, and I can only do that with your cooperation. Okay? Simon, do you remember the night your parents died?
Long pause.
Simon, were you there the night your parents died? Were you there in their room when they died? Simon, I need to ask this.
Well, that was kind of a forceful yes.
Okay. Now, I need to find out.
Well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Simon feels he doesn't need to find out.
Simon, I haven't asked you the next question yet. Did you see the murders take place?
Yeah, it's gonna get kind of creepy kind of fast.
Okay. Simon, are you saying yes and no? Simon, you can't be in the room and not in the room. Are you agreeing with me?
this is a bit that is well thought out. I love the way they did this, because somebody sat down in the writer's room and did a lot of really good thinking, a lot of great thinking.
So you're saying you were in the room and not in the room? Simon, are you saying you were in two places at once?
So yeah, this is going to be fun.
Simon, did you hurt your parents?
That took a little bit long to get answer.
Good.
Yes and no and yes. This is getting crazy.
Simon, yes what?
No.
Simon, stop this. Simon.
I think Simon's kind of losing it here, people.
Can I get some help in here?
So it makes you wonder if he's in a room and Simon's just, in a room with them and they're kind of like locked in there, or if they're in like an open area.
Wow.
Yeah.
The poor kid.
The poor psychologist.
Okay, so
I'm agreeing with Nick on the poor psychologist. I mean, the kid is definitely having issues and needs to be taken care of, and yeah, we should be thinking about the kid, the poor kid, but at the same time, the poor psychologist is trying to figure out how to get to try to get to the root of the problem and try to fix things.
what's happening now?
His case was in the process of being reopened by the Legal Justice Society.
Was?
Simon seems to have attacked a patient at Three Rivers State Hospital.
Ow, that's not good. And this looks like a really good place to go ahead and bring this video to an end. Thank everyone for watching the video and all the videos that I put up. Thank all the people. I just got the thing. I have went up to, let me look it up real quick. I believe it's 78 subscribers now, and all 78 of you, thank you very much for being a subscriber. Thank for all the views, shares, likes, all the good stuff. Just being out in the world, being good people, and being good to other humans. That's just, this channel, even though it is teeny tiny channel, and I don't mind it being teeny tiny channel, I'm happy with 78 subscribers. Though I may do something special if I ever get to 100 subscribers. I don't know. But yes, thank you all. Thank you all for watching the videos. And until next time, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?